Students, just give me 2 minutes time. I'm having some network issue here. Just give me 2 minutes time. Am I audible, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just 2 minutes. So we'll have a quick discussion. So what is the answer for the first? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Can someone respond? Okay, yeah. So I'm asking for the answer for the first one. None of you know. At least a guess. No guess also. So an electron has an initial velocity in direction different from that of the electric field. What will be the path of the electron? Right, this can be an important question. That is what I had been asking. See, if this is the electric field, if the particle travels in the direction of electric field, right? If it was projected in the direction of electric field, it would have traveled in a straight line path. So when can a particle projected in an electric field travel in a circular? When can a particle project, listen to my question, you have electric field. When can a particle projected in electric field have a circular path? When? Answer is never. You cannot put a particle in circular path in a uniform, in an electric field at all. You can either put it in a straight line path or a parabolic path. That's it. So that is why here the answer is only parabola. What answer for the second one? See, everybody wrote home test only. You have your answer sheets with you. Can you please have it beside you and at least look at that and tell me the answer so that we can discuss faster? So equal charges are given to conduct different radii. The potential will be for which one? The potential will
Depend on the radius of the sphere, sir.
yes, it will depend on the radius of the sphere. Correct. When a battery is connected across a resistor of 16 ohm, the voltage across the resistor is 12 volt. So the 16 ohm resistor, when a battery is connected across the 16, the potential here is 12 volt. When the same battery is connected to another resistor across 10 ohm, the potential difference is 11 volt. Okay. So what is common for the battery here and here? EMF and internal resistance. Am I right? So what is the relation between the parameters? In the first case, V is equal to E minus IR. So on the right, V1 is equal to E minus I1R. So what is the value of I1? What is the value of I1? 12 divided by 16. So 12 is equal to E minus 12 divided by 16 into R. In the second case, what should I write? 10 will be, sorry, not 10. 11 will be equal to E minus 11 divided by 10 into R. So what are you supposed to do? Subtract both. You will get 1 is equal to 11 by 10 minus 12 by 16 is 3 by 4. So 44 minus 30, this whole thing multiplied with R. 44 minus 30 divided by 40 into R. So R will be equal to 40 divided by 44 minus 30 is 14. So it will be 20 by 7. Is there an option? Yes. So 20 by 7 will be the answer. I hope everybody understood this.
Yes, sir.
So what is the answer for the next one? Fourth one, what is the answer? EMF divided by the resistance. So B square L square V divided by R is the force. So B square L square V divided by R should be balanced by the weight of the object. So what will be the value of B? It will be mg into R divided by B square L square. Is there an option? Yes, option B. B is the right answer. Correct. Fifth one. A bar magnet of pole strength 2 ampere meter is kept in a magnetic field of induction 4 into 10 power minus 5 Weber per meter square. So magnetic dipole moment Qm is equal to 2. Sorry, pole strength, not dipole moment, pole strength. And magnetic field is 4 into 10 power minus 5 Weber per meter square, can also be Tesla. Such that the axis of the magnetic field makes an angle 30 degree with the direction of field. If the couple acting on the magnet is found to be 8 into 10 power minus 7 Newton meter, then the distance between the poles is. So couple is basically you're talking about the torque. So torque is equal to mb sin theta. But what is the value of magnetic dipole moment in terms of pole strength? I need an answer. So it is pole strength multiplied with the distance of separation between them. If you don't know this, please make a note of it. Pole strength multiplied, if you take this as the bar magnet, if you take the geometrical distance between them to be 2L and the pole strength to be QM, so QM multiplied with 2L is going to give you the magnetic dipole moment multiplied with the magnetic field is 4 into 10 power minus 5 into sine of, what is the value of theta? Sine 30 degrees. That is going to be half. So QM is how much? 2 into 2L is what you need to find, into 4 into 10 power minus 5 into sine 30 is going to be half. What is the value of torque? 80 into 10 power minus 7. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. 4 and this 20 will get cancelled. So 2 will cancel this 10 times. So 10 power minus, oh, they asked the distance between the poles. No, so 2L, I will not cancel it. 20. So 2L. So 2 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 10 power minus 5 is equal to 2L, which implies 2L is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 1 meter or 0.2 meter. So 0.2 meter, can I write it as 20 centimeter? I hope I'm clear, right? Is there anyone having doubt in this? Am I clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Good. A rod of length L rotates with an angular velocity omega about an axis passing through its middle point, but normal to its length in uniform magnetic field of induction B with its direction parallel to the axis of rotation. The induced EMF is? Answer. What is the answer, guys? Why is no one speaking? None of you did it. See, there is a rod of length L, right, which revolves with a uniform angular velocity omega about an axis passing through its midpoint, but normal to its length in uniform magnetic field. So uniform magnetic field is in the direction parallel to the axis of rotation. So it is into the plane. And this rod is revolving. So the induced EMF between the ends of the rods will be how much? Oh, sorry. About an axis passing through the center of it. About an axis passing through the center of it. The induced EMF between the ends is going to be? Answer. 0. Why? You remember this concept? There is a textbook problem. There is an NCERT solved example based on this. I have explained this during our paper discussion also. If there is a rod of length L, which is revolving about an axis passing through one of the ends, then what would have been the EMF generated across the ends of the rod? It will be half B L square omega. Do you guys remember this?
Yes, sir.
You remember this? No, half BL. I think you asked me also, Nitish. When I was discussing, I think you asked me how did we get that value. I remember explaining the proof. Right? Yes. So why am I not writing half BL square omega here?
So
So you
because
should have
there is
asked me that.
this.
Yeah. Can you tell me the difference, Ma?
Sir,
Kirtana?
in the question they've asked in the middle of the rods.
Exactly. That is the reason. So the EMF between these 2 points is half BL square omega, and the EMF between these 2 points is half BL square omega. But what they ask, the induced EMF between the 2 ends of the rod. So what is the value of EMF? So when you find the difference, what will happen to it? It will get nullified. Am I right? That is why the answer is 0. I hope you are able to relate these two questions. So if it is pivoted at the end of the rod, then it is half BL square omega. If it is hinged at the center, it is 0. Right? I want everybody to make a note of it. Shall I proceed? Yeah. So 7th one, there is a series LCR circuit which is connected to a variable source of frequency 230 volt, where L is 5 Henry, C is 80 microfarad, and R is 40 ohm. Impedance of the circuit and the amplitude of the circuit at resonating frequency. So tell me one thing. Do we need to apply the formula for impedance
No, sir.
in this? Because in resonating frequency, how will the LCR circuit behave like? It will behave
Resisting.
like a
Purely resistive.
purely resistive circuit. So Z will be equal to R40. What is option? Be the option. All right. So if you had 240s in the question, then maybe you need to have, you should have solved it. Okay. Yeah. So 8th one, the magnetic field of a plane electromagnetic wave is this much. What will be the corresponding electric field? Can you tell me the answer, guys? So what is the relation between E, B, and C? So C is equal to E by B. So E will be equal to B into C. So B is 3 into 10 power minus 8 into, what is going to be the value of C? That will be 3 into 10 power 8. Am I right? They both get cancelled. You will get 9. So 9 times, you should write the exact value. 9 times sine of 200 pi into y plus ct times I cap. Sorry, not I cap. Magnetic field. Okay, the corresponding field. 1 minute. This direction. What would be the direction perpendicular to I cap? It can either be K cap or J cap. But in all the options, since K cap is given, I'm taking this into consideration. So which option is right? It is option C. Did you understand why I wrote it like this? Is everyone clear with this? If not, please get clarified. Is everyone clear?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, why can't it be minus K cap?
It can be. It can be minus K cap. It could have been J cap. It could have been minus J cap also, because in this problem, specify the direction. But what I'm trying to say is, since in all the options it is given as K cap, oh, you're asking why can't this be the option? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that could have been right, actually. Correct. I didn't observe that. But what is the answer given? 1 minute. 8th question. Either 8th, they have given it as A only. Oh, I'm sorry, it should have actually been minus only. Sorry, though they didn't give you the direction, one thing we need to have in our mind, what is it? If it is sine k plus omega t, it is traveling the negative y direction. So here it is observed y plus ct. So it is actually traveling in the negative j direction. So, but we can't conclude that this is the reason actually.
Sir, so both the options are right.
Both the options are right. Let me think of a justification for it. 1 minute. Both the options can be right, but I'm thinking why they have given it as minus. Let me think about it. So one thing is, did you understand that the wave is propagating in the negative y? right? And the magnetic field is in this direction. So what should be the direction of electric field for the light to travel? For it could have actually been k cap also, because C I cannot represent it as a cross product. So one thing I can say is the cross product of E vector and B vector will be parallel to C vector. That is speed of light.
Sir, but they have not mentioned the direction of speed of light right here.
That is a problem. That is a problem actually. Actually, the question is ambiguous. Both the options are right actually. You can take either of them, because I cannot do a cross product. So this you should actually get a mark. If you have marked A or C, you will get marks. If you have marked any other option, you should not get. Okay. Let me just make a note of it. This is the 8th question, right? A or C. Yeah, either of them can be right because they didn't mention the direction of C. Okay. So next one, a beam of monochromatic light is refracted from vacuum into a medium of refractive index 1.5, the wavelength of the refracted light is. Can you tell me?
Larger, sir.
Larger. How?
So nu2 by nu1 is equal to nu1 by it's lambda 1
Okay,
by
which
lambda.
one is new? Which is new one according to you? Vacuum.
So
Huh?
nu1 is the vacuum, sir, and nu2 is the medium
Okay.
of refractive index
You want to
1.5.
take, okay, you want to take mu2 by mu1 is equal to v1 by v2. Am I right?
Sir, lambda 1 by lambda 2.
Yeah, it is lambda 1 by lambda 2 because the frequency will be the same. They get cancelled out.
Oh,
Right.
right.
So
Got it, sir.
mu2,
I know where I went wrong, sir. Got it.
you understood? Yes. Lambda
Yes.
1 by lambda 2 will be greater than 1. So lambda 1 is greater than lambda 2. The wavelength of refracted light will be smaller. See, this is a simple question. The concept of secondary wavelets was proposed by Huygens. So what is the answer for the next one? A metallic surface ejects electron when exposed to green light of intensity I, but no photoelectrons are emitted when exposed to the yellow light of intensity I. Is this possible to eject electron from the same surface by? Tell me. So you need to take, sorry?
No, sir, I was gonna say the answer.
Yeah, tell me, what is it?
Option C, sir, green light of any intensity.
11th one, green light of any intensity. Why is it so? Can you give me a justification for it?
Yes, sir. Sir, the wavelengths of red and yellow lights are longer, and hence the frequency
Correct.
will be less, sir. So there won't be
Correct.
enough energy to eject the electrons out. And
Correct.
for green
That-
light, intensity does not matter in photoelectric effect.
Perfect. So that was the important point. So intensity, though they have given it, they have given only to confuse you. So what matters is the energy. Intensity does not play an important role at all. Secondly, here you need to concentrate on the colors, like how she told. Green light has a wavelength, which is, so when you take violet, indigo, blue, green, orange till red. So this is the order of increasing wavelengths. Am I right? So wavelength is more, energy is going to be less. Correct? So that is the reason. Yes. So which of the following types of radiation is not emitted by electronic structure of atom? Answer.
Sir, is it X-rays?
Illa. They are gamma rays because gamma rays are emitted only by nuclear disintegration. Have this in your mind. You know what is nuclear? Actually, this part is not the radioactivity is not a part of your syllabus. That is why I couldn't explain. So gamma rays are emitted there. Whereas when you talk about electronic structure of atom, what happens is there is a transition taking place for an electron from one level to another. Right? Just give me a minute, okay? Just give me a minute. Yeah. So I hope this answer is clear, no? The force between proton and proton inside the nucleus is. Answer, guys. The force between proton and proton inside the nucleus is. What kind of force? Is it Coulombic? Is it nuclear? Is it both Coulombic and nuclear? It is both Coulombic and nuclear. Because proton has charge also. So how is the interference pattern in double slit experiment affected if the source of blue light is used in place of yellow light producing the same intensity? Answer.
So fringe width
Beta.
will decrease.
So beta is equal to lambda into capital D divided by small d. How is the interference in the double slit experiment affected if the source of blue light is used in place of yellow light? So what happens to the wavelength?
It decreases, sir.
So what should happen to the fringe width? That should also decrease. 15th
Sir,
one. The folk.
can you do the
Solapa.
question?
Hmm.
Okay, sir, got it.
Got it. Yeah. The focal length of objective and eyepiece of a compound microscope are 1 centimeter and 5 centimeter respectively. An object is placed at a distance of 1.1 centimeter from the objective. If the final image is formed at infinity, the magnifying power and the distance between the lenses are respectively. So what is the magnifying power? So what is the formula for magnifying power? It will be V naught divided by U naught into D divided by F here. So we know that 1 by V naught minus 1 by U naught is equal to 1 by F naught. So multiply with V naught throughout. So what will you get? 1 minus V naught by U naught is equal to V naught divided by, or else L. So what is given here, which is given, object distance is given, right? So object distance is given means I'll multiply with U naught throughout. So I'll get U naught by V naught minus 1 is equal to U naught divided by F naught. So U naught by V naught is equal to 1 plus U naught divided by F naught. So there's going to be F naught plus U naught divided by F naught. Okay, 1 minute. I have to put a minus sign here. So I'll multiply with minus U naught. So this will be plus, this will be minus. So F naught minus U naught is U naught divided by V naught. So what is V naught by U naught equal to? U naught minus F naught, sorry, F naught divided by U naught minus F naught. So V naught by U naught, I can replace it with F naught divided by U naught minus F naught. There's another formula that you can remember, guys. into d divided by Fe. What is the value of f naught? Focal length of objective is 1 divided by u naught is 1.1. I've already applied the sign convention, so don't apply it again. 1.1 minus, what is the value of f naught again? 1 into d is 25 divided by Fe is 5. So this and this will get cancelled. So 5 divided by 0.1, it is going to be 50. 50, oh, there are two options. Okay, so how to find the distance between the lengths? L is equal to V naught plus Fe. So what is the value of V naught? Can you calculate V naught and tell me? So can you calculate V naught from here and tell me? One minute time. Do it fast and tell me. Answer. What is the value of V naught? You would have solved it, no? You don't have to. When you substitute the values here and calculate V naught. What is wrong with you guys? It will should come out as 11 plus Fe is 5. So answer should be 50, 16. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll discuss the answers alone. If you have any doubt, you stop me. Sixteenth one, what is the answer? It is 0.7. 17th one, two identical galvanometers are connected. Solum.
Sir, silicon then sir 0.7 will come.
Knee voltage of silicon.
Germany, they have asked. Sir.
One minute. Got it. Sorry, silicon is 0.7 and germanium is 0.3. Class. No. Sorry, I read the question wrong. So for germanium, it is 0.3 and for silicon, it is 0.7. So yeah, 17th one, two identical galvanometers are converted into ammeter and milliammeter. The resistance of the shunt milliammeter through which the current passes through will be. So what will be the answer? Sorry? Greater. It should be more. It should be more. Why? What is the logic? Can you tell
So
me?
that only less current passes through.
See, when I take an ammeter and a milliammeter, on a comparative basis, which one will have more resistance? I'm giving you a milliammeter will have, logically, that is the thing. Yeah, it will have more resistance because that is connected in series. So less current flow agununa, the resistance should resistance, and if it is more, then what value of the shunt resistance that you connect? sorry, milliammeter should be, yeah, then what should happen to the shunt resistance that you connect? It should be more. That is the reason. The electric energy an accelerated motion produces. 18th one.
All of
Is an accelerator. It produces all of these. One common mistake is people think that it produces only electromagnetic radiation. No. A charged particle which is in motion can have electric field, it can have magnetic field. Combined together, it will have.
Sir, your voice is breaking for.
Q is in spherical surface of radius to half. Would the flux the surface change? Answer.
Sir, your voice is breaking for.
A charge Q is in breaking. 1 minute. I don't have a network issue. No. Yes, am I audible? Is it
Yes,
better
sir.
now? Okay. Okay, this question I was asking. A charge Q is enclosed by a spherical surface of radius capital R. If the radius is reduced to half, how would the electric flux be affected? What will happen to it? There will be no change because it depends only on the total charge which is enclosed by the surface. Right? So network of 4 capacitors, each of 12 microfarad. Capacitance is connected to a 500 volt supply as shown in the figure. What are the equivalent capacitance of the network? These three are in series. So when three are in series, what will happen to the equivalent resistance? These three will get cancelled and the answer will be 4. Right? 12 by 3 is 4. This 4 and this 12 are in parallel. What will happen to the equivalent resistance? It becomes 16. So equivalent capacitance of the network is 16 microfarad. And what is the charge on each capacitor? So what is the charge on Q4? What is the charge on 4? It is 12 into 500. Q is equal to CV, right? Q is equal to CV. So it will be 12 into 500 into 10 power minus 12. Sorry, 10 power minus 6. Or I'll leave it as micro itself. So 12 into 500 is going to be 6000 microcoulomb. Am I right? So 600 microcoulomb. And what is going to be the charge on C1, C2, C3? Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q3, which is equal to 4 into 500, which is going to be 2000 microfarad. Right.
Sir,
So look.
sir, if C1, C2, and C3 are different, then how will you calculate the charge on each?
Okay, simple. You can first calculate the equivalent, provided they are in series. So I'm
Yes.
assuming that you're asking this question that C1, C2, C3 are of different values, but they're in series, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, they are in series. Now, first to find the equal, write down the algorithm. So first find the equivalent capacitance. Okay, on the equivalent capacitance, calculate what is the potential difference across that, and multiply both. That is answer. So it has nothing to do whether they are of equal values or different values. Nitish, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
The
Yes,
confusion.
sir. Got it.
Got it, right? Okay. So one more, just to add a point again, the same is the case with respect to resistors also. If at all you're asked to calculate the current across each resistor, and if the resistors are in series, first find the equivalent resistance and multiply it with the potential difference across the combination. Seriya? Yeah. So can you tell me what is the answer here? A battery of EMF 10 volt is connected to resistances as shown in the figure. Find the potential difference between the points A and B. So how to solve this? So how is 1 and 3 connected? Series. Here it is going to be 4. Here it is going to be 4. So what is the equivalent resistance? 2. So what will be the current supplied by the battery? I is equal to V by R. 10 by 2, it is going to be 5 ampere. So 5 ampere, how much will get split here and how much will get split here?
Sir, it'll split equally.
Equally 2.5 and 2.5. Right. So the same 2.5 is going to flow through 1 ohm and 3 ohm resistor. Right. So tell me, what is VC minus VA? It is 2.5 into 1, correct? Between C and A, what resistor is there? It is a 1 ohm resistor. So VC minus VA is 2.5 into 1. I into R. Adhe mari, VC minus VB is how much? Use the same logic and tell me. 2.5 into
3.
Correct. So now what is supposed to do? VC is the unwanted parameter because they are asking the potential difference between the points A and B. So they are asking VA minus VB. So if I need VA minus VB, I'll do VC minus VB minus VC minus VA. Why did I do 2 minus 1? Because I'm able to see that this value is more. So then you will get VA minus VB is basically 7.5 minus 2.5, which is 5 volt. So 5 will be the answer. I hope I'm clear.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
sure.
if they interchange the values of the branch CBD, sir, like if it was not like 3 ohm and 1 ohm and it was 1 ohm and 3 ohm, we can directly write it as 0, right, sir?
Okay. So if had it been like this 1 and 3,
Yes, sir.
then you can write it.
Sir, so if it's 2 and 6 also we can write any integral multiples of the same two
No,
values.
2 and 6 na value 2 and 6 na it will get different. 2 and 6 la, here the equivalent resistance is 8. Inga equivalent resistance is 4. Appo eppadi equal current split agum?
Sir, Anna, the Wheatstone bridge it'll no current should be flowing through.
You are talking about, okay, but these 2 points, okay, you are talking about these 2 points. Yeah, then it should be the case.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, those 2
Okay.
points it should be.
Okay,
I was thinking of this approach. If you do in this approach, current will not be same. But yeah, your logic is right. It will be 0.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So show that the variation of photoelectric current with collector plate potential for different frequencies, but the intensity of the incident radiation. So show the variation of photoelectric current as a variation of anode potential. Am I right? Of different frequencies, but same intensity. So what will happen? So how will the graph look like? Look something like this. Right? What is this current called as?
Saturation.
Saturation current.
Correct. And what is this value called as? Stopping
Stopping.
potential. So V01, V02, V03. If I take this as F1, F2, and F3, what is the relation between the frequencies? F3 is greater than
F2.
F2 is greater than F1 because they have more amount of kinetic energy, right? Yes. Calculate the radius of this second orbit of hydrogen atom, second orbit. So Rn is equal to what is the formula? 0.53 into n square by z angstrom. Can I write it like this? So 0.53 into n square divided by z. So what will be the answer? 0.53 into n square is 4 divided by z is 1. So how much are you going to get when you multiply this? 212. So 212 is what you are going to get. Two values, you push it to the left. So 212 angstrom is going to be the answer. Similarly, the total energy of the electron in the second orbit, En is equal to minus 13.6 into 13.6 into z square divided by n square. So minus 13.6 into z square is how much? 1 divided by n square is 4. So it will be minus 3.4 electron volt. Am I right? So the energy be released or needed for the following reaction.
Sir, can you show the before question?
Sir, is it minus 3.4 joules?
Illa electron volt. It's not joule.
Okay.
So this itself is an electron volt. I hope you know how you got this value, right? The big derivation will be there. You'll substitute
Yes,
all
sir.
the
Yes,
values
sir.
constant. Yeah. So derivation motto practice panikonga. You will get it. Okay. So the energy be released. Nitish, you wanted to see this. Is your doubt
Yes,
clear?
sir, got it. Yeah, clear.
Sorry. Okay. Would the energy be released or needed for the following deuterium and tritium reaction to occur? Given mass of H21 is 2.014102 U, atomic mass unit. Mass of H31 is going to be 3.016049 U. Mass of helium is 4.002603 U. And mass of neutron is 1.008665 U. Calculate the energy in megaelectron volt. What are you going to do? First, calculate the mass defect. So what is the mass defect? You check your notes and tell me, no? What is the mass defect?
0.18883.
0.18883. 0.0188863 கொடுத்திருக்கு. இது கரெக்ட்டா நீ சொல்றது கரெக்ட்டா தெரியலையே.
Yes,
Sir,
yes, sir. I left the 0. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
இது கரெக்ட்டா நான் எழுதுனது கரெக்ட்டா? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Calculate the energy. Here they are asking about the binding energy. That is going to be delta M multiplied with 931.5 mega electron volt. Up over 0.018863 into 931.5. How much did you get? How much is the value you got? 17 point. It is given as 17.56 mega electron volt. If there is any discrepancy in the answer, then we have to check the calculation. Is this right? I'm not checking the
Sir,
calculation.
if we take 931, we'll get little difference. Is it accepted, sir?
No, it's fine. It's fine. 931.5. Okay, 931 எடுத்துக்கலாம். 931 எடுத்தா எவ்வளவு வருது?
17.32.
Actually, இதுதான் கொடுத்திருக்கேன். நான் பார்க்கல. I didn't see in the solution. They gave it as 931 only. 931 எடுத்தா 7.561453 அப்படி ஏதோ இருக்கு பெருசா. But that's fine. In a variation, it's fine. You should get marks for that. No, don't worry.
Yes.
Sir, mass defect here, how are we calculating, sir?
Mass defect is you will always calculate this side. You will add these two values. Right? You will add these two values and then subtract. ஏன்னா இங்க பாரு இது ரியாக்டன்ட்டா இது ப்ராடக்ட்.
Product minus reactant.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Actually இங்க என்ன பண்ணிருப்போம்னா we would have calculated see you calculate product minus reactant. If it comes out to be a negative value, then what is the meaning of it? Energy is
Released.
That's the answer. Is released. So that mass defect when you're calculating, actually when you're doing it right, you have to see if you do mass of reactant minus mass of product and you get a positive value, or mass of product minus mass of reactant and get a negative value, they represent that the energy is released. That's the meaning.
Okay.
So that negative or positive sign will give you the answer. The wavelength of light in mercury is found to be 5.5 into 10 power minus 5 centimeter. Calculate the frequency and period. So frequency you can calculate it. F is equal to, how much is frequency? Frequency is equal to speed of light divided by wavelength. Correct? So speed of light is 3 into 10 power 8 divided by 5.5 into 10 power minus 5. So 3 divided by 5.5, how much did you get the answer? Let's check your notes.
5.45 into 10 power 14.
10 power 4.
It should be
14.
minus
10 power 4. Is this what you got?
I got that, sir. Yes.
Sir,
No,
it
இது
should
correct.
be 5.5 into 10 power minus 7, sir.
7 minus வராதே, minus மேல போயிடுச்சுனா 13 ஆயிடும்.
No, sir, it's minus
No,
7.
sir, it's centimeters. So it will
Centimeter.
become meter.
Oh, this one you are saying. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this one will become 10 power minus 7 meter. Yeah. So what is going to be the period? Period means your time period is what they are asking. Time period is a reciprocal of frequency. So T is equal to 1 divided by 5.45 into 10 power 14. You can either do this or calculate lambda by C. That should also give you the answer. So 5.5 divided by 3 and tell me what is the answer. Answer in 1 point. So 5.45, 5.5 divided by 3 is going to be 1 point something. 1 point என்ன வந்தது?
1.83.
Okay. Into
10 power minus 15.
10 power minus 15 seconds. Okay. That is right. So they have given it in microsecond. It doesn't make any difference. You can leave it like this also. That's right. So what is the wavelength of light in the glass? If the refractive index of glass is 1.5. It's similar to that problem that we did. So refractive index is equal to refractive index of air divided by the refractive index of glass. So lambda G will be equal to lambda divided by mu. Lambda is how much? 5.5 into 10 power minus 7 divided by mu is 1.5. Right. So how much will you get? How much did you get the answer as? Answer guys. This somewhere around 3.67 into 10 power minus 7 meter. Is this what you got?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay. 26th. At what angle should a ray be incident on the face of a prism of refracting angle 60 degrees so that it just suffers total internal reflection at the other face? So this is 60. This is angle of incidence I. So here it should graze along the surface. That is what they're saying. So this will be 90. If this is 90, this is also 90. Am I right? Yes. So what should be the angle of incidence? So if I take this angle to be the critical angle, so refractive index of the prism, let me take it as mu. Tell me what should be the value. Sine, so mu into sine C should be equal to 1. So sine C is equal to 1 divided by mu. 1 divided. So C will be equal to sine inverse of 1 by mu. So sine inverse of 1 divided by mu is 1.524. Right. Oh, but they're asking angle I. So how to calculate angle I?
Sir, A is equal to R1 plus R2, sir. So we
So
have
this is R1.
yes, sir.
A is equal to R1 plus R2. Here is C. R1 எப்படி calculate பண்ணுவேன்?
Sir, A is 60, sir. They've given it.
Okay.
So R1 will have R1 now, sir. 60 minus sine inverse of 1 by 1.524. And then after that, we have R1, sir. So sine I by sine R1 will be equal to 1.524, right?
So here 1 into sine I. So sine I is equal to mu into sine R1. So sine I is what we need to find. So sine I divided by mu sine inverse of this value is R1. Am I right?
Yes, sir. And 60 minus sine inverse of 1 by 1.524 is R1.
Okay. So can I write it as sine inverse of 60 minus C what did you say?
Yes, sir. 60 minus sine inverse of 1 by 1.524.
1 by 1.524
is R1, sir.
is equal to R1. So what should we write? So this R1 you will write, you will substitute it with this. Is what you're saying? So
Yes, sir.
sine of 60 minus sine inverse of 1 by 1.524 the whole divided by
1.5
is what is I. Correct? So it's a big
Yes.
number. This value should have been given 1 by 1.524 is actually somewhere around 41 degrees.
Sir, for these, will they give the sine values? Like if we get.
They should give you. Here it is not given, so you can leave it as sine inverse. Don't worry about it. They should give you, or else you can leave it as this value itself. So this is a derivation. I'm not explaining. This is also a derivation. Draw the equipotential surface corresponding to uniform electric field in the z direction. So if I take, for example, this to be the z direction, what is going to be the equipotential surface? It will be a plane surface, right? Next is derive an expression for the electric potential at any point along the axial line of the dipole. Derive an expression for the electric potential at any point along the axial line of a dipole. So that is also a derivation. What should be the final value? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into P divided by R square. right?
Sir, 2 kp by RQ, right? 2 times.
That is electric field, ma. That is electric field.
Oh, right. Okay, sir. I'm
The
okay, got it.
potential, right? Yeah. Define self-inductance of a coil and write the definition of it. This we have discussed many times, right? Self-inductance means you have to write the definition of L. So write any two factors each on which the following depends. The self-inductance of the coil and mutual inductance of the pair of coils. So what are the two factors on which the self-inductance depends on? One is the geometry and the second is nature of medium. What about the mutual inductance of the pair of coils?
Sir, won't it
It
depend
depends.
on current?
That no current irukadida cancel aidume.
Self-inductance.
Renduthilum cancel aiduvada. Where will you have current? Parra ஒரு solenoid எடுத்துக்கிறேன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. For example, remember it like this. இப்போ இதுக்கு வந்து area of cross section I am taking it as A and let the current be I. So அப்ப L ஓட formula என்னது? N into phi divided by I. So N into இது என்ன phi என்ன எழுதலாம்? B into N எழுதலாம் divided by I. So N into what is the value of B? It is mu naught into N into I into A divided by I. இதுதான் formula. இதை வச்சு தான் we are writing the theory. I and I get eliminated.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
So another why I told geometry is because it depends on the area and the number of turns per unit length. Similarly, mu naught nala I'm saying it is depending on the nature of the medium.
Okay.
So adhe mari mutual inductance of pair of coils la enna agum? So it depends on the orientation in the first place. Right? First I can say orientation and the distance between the coils. Can I say this?
Primary
And I can say it depends on the nature of the intervening medium. Illa primary coil dependency illada. Why does primary coil come into consideration? Are you talking
area,
about current?
area.
Okay, that is geometry. When you talk about area or length, you talk about the geometrical parts of the system.
Okay.
So there is a 2 microfarad capacitor. There is a 2 microfarad capacitor, 100 ohm resistor, 8 Henry inductor that are connected in series with an AC source. What should be the frequency of the source such that the current drawn in the circuit is maximum? So omega is equal to 1 by root LCR. And what is the name of that frequency? It's called as resonance frequency. So 1 by square root of L is 8 into C is 2 into 10 power minus 12. Okay. Next. If the peak value of EMF of the source is 200 volt, find the maximum current. If the peak value of EMF of the source is 200 volt, find the maximum current. So I naught is equal to V naught divided by R. So V naught is 200. So for you to find the maximum current, when maximum current is flowing, it is a resonance condition. That time it will behave like a purely resistive circuit. So R will be 100. So answer will be 2 ampere. Am I clear, guys?
Yes.
Am I clear? Yes. So draw the graph showing the variation of amplitude of circuit current when changing frequency of applied voltage in a series LCR circuit for 2 different values of R and R. So basically there is a graph like this. I hope you remember. Just give me a minute. No? Yeah. So what does that graph actually show, guys? It shows the variation of current amplitude versus frequency here. Correct? You would have observed a graph like this. So here it is R1, here it is R2. R1 is greater than R2. That is why the current is less. Correct? Fourth, define the term sharpness of resonance. So what is sharpness of resonance? It is basically the Q factor. Sharpness of resonance is also called as the Q factor. So how do you define the Q factor as? Q factor is defined as the ratio of resonant frequency to the difference in the frequencies on either side of the resonance frequency, where the current value is I0 by root 2. Guys, are
Sir,
you with me?
2 times bandwidth, right?
2 times bandwidth difference வந்து இப்படி எழுதலாம். அது bandwidth ஏன் சொல்றோம்னா, this is omega naught அப்படின்னா, this is omega 2, இது omega 1 ன்னு எடுத்தா, இது ஒரு bandwidth, இது ஒரு bandwidth. Delta omega, இது ஒரு delta omega. அதனால we write it as 2 times delta omega or omega 2 minus omega 1 கூட எழுதலாம். Both are same.
Okay.
புரியுது? Yeah. So under the condition, does the circuit become more selective? So under what condition does it become more selective?
Bandwidth should be smaller so that.
So can you tell me the value of Q? Guys, I'll just give a point from my side. There is a network issue. Your voice is actually breaking for me. Anala, if I ask you second time, please respond. Yeah, your voice is breaking. So Q the formula in terms of resistance, inductance, and capacitance. There is a formula 1 by R into square root of L by C. Okay. So for it to be more selective, what should be the value of quality factor? Should it be high or less?
High.
So quality factor higher irukkonumna appa R என்னவா இருக்கணும்?
Small.
It should be small. And what should happen to the inductance? It should be high. So that's what they ask, no? And under what condition does the circuit become more selective?
Sir, otherwise, can we write it in terms of bandwidth also? Like bandwidth
Yeah,
becomes...
you can do that. Yeah, you can. Both are same. No, that is what mathematical details tells us.
Yes,
Both are
okay.
same. Yeah, you can.
Sir,
Solupa.
sir, 1 by R root of L by C, like you told already how it came from 1 by root LC. Sir, I forgot it. Can you?
Illa, Nana, derivation is I gave you the formula directly because this derivation is not a part of your syllabus. I told this. Don't worry about it. This formula you remember 1 by R into root of L by C. They'll not ask you the derivation at all.
Okay.
It's not a part of it. Yeah. Describe briefly how diffraction pattern is obtained on a screen due to a single narrow slit illuminated by monochromatic source of light, hence obtain the conditions for the angular width of secondary maximum and the secondary minimum. There's a theory question, right? Again. So this we have discussed multiple times. Last class also I told you like what happens. Remember there was a question on what happens when the fraction of the part is going and falling on the screen. You guys remember? I discussed it in detail. So it's the same logic again. Right. So this problem will solve. 2 wavelengths of sodium light, 590 nanometer and 596 nanometer, are used in turn to study the diffraction taking place at a single slit of aperture 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter. The distance between the slit and the screen is 1.5 meter. Calculate the separation between the positions of the first maximum of the diffraction pattern obtained in the 2 cases. Answer. How to solve this? So 2 wavelengths of this value are used in turn to study the diffraction pattern taking place at a single slit of aperture 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter. That is the opening. The distance between the slit and the screen is 1.5 meter. Calculate the separation between the position of the first maximum of the diffraction pattern obtained in the two cases. So if at all, if I take this to be the light, here is the opening. Let's say here it is going and falling, and let me take this value to be theta. And let me say this distance is y1, this distance is capital D, and the opening is going to be small a. Right. So what is the value of this y1? Can you tell me?
3/2 lambda capital D by D.
Come again, ma?
3/2 lambda capital D by D, so
3/2 into, okay, I'll take this as lambda 1.
yes, sir.
Lambda 1 into capital D divided by D. Correct? Correct. அதே மாதிரி y2 என்னது? 3/2 into lambda 2 into capital D by D. So they're asking the difference between both. So lambda 1 place, so what will you substitute? Lambda 1 is 590, lambda 2 is 596, capital D is 1.5, small d is 2 into 10 power minus 6. So subtract both, you're going to get the answer. And it should come out as 6.75 into 10 power minus 3. Right, I hope you guys got this answer.
Sir,
Sollupa.
sir, light falling on opposite screen, we need to subtract, and on same screen, we need to add. Right?
In the opposite screen.
Sir, why are we subtracting here, sir?
Calculate the separation between the positions of the first maximum of the type. So first time, for example, you're using 590 nanometer which koda. Second time you're using 596 nanometer. அப்ப இங்க வந்து y2 ன்னு எடுத்துக்கோ for example. And the y2 is actually another, it is the first bright spot formed in the second case. புரியுதா நான் சொல்றது? புரியுதா?
Yes, sir.
So இப்ப இத தூக்கிட்டு வந்தீங்க, if I keep it here, maybe this is y1. They are asking what is this separation? புரியுதா?
Okay. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes. So here I did nothing. இதனால subtract, இதனால addition. I just followed the question. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. See, this paper, I think mostly I gave derivations only. Right. So show that the uniform electric field, the dipole experiences only torque, but no net force. Derive the expression for torque. You know how to do it. P vector cross E vector, and you will, during the process of derivation, you will show that the net force is 0, but there is a couple that is going to exist. An electric dipole consists of two equal and opposite charges placed 2 centimeters apart. When the dipole is placed in a uniform electric field of strength 10 power 5 Newton per coulomb, it experiences a maximum torque of 0.2 into 10 power minus 3 Newton meter. Find the magnitude of the charge. So how to solve this? So since they told torque is maximum, when is torque maximum possible? Theta is equal to 90. So it should be P into E. P is Q into the charges are separated by 2 centimeters. So 2 into 10 power minus 2 into the value of E is going to be 10 power 5, and torque max is going to be 0.2 into 10 power minus 3. So this is going to be 0.1. So Q will be equal to 0.1 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 10 power 5. So 0.1 into 10 power minus 8 meter.
Sir,
Or it is going, oh sorry, coulomb. Or 10 power minus 7 coulomb. I can write it. In 1 minute, let me check. Which question is this? 33.
Sir,
10 power minus
9.
7, ra? Oh. இல்ல 10 power 5 into இங்க 10 power minus 2 இருக்கு. It becomes into 10 power 2. Actually made a mistake, but fortunately that answer matched. I missed this 10 power minus 2. So 10 power 2 into 0.1 is 10 ra. 10 into 10 power minus 8 is 10 power minus 7. Now
Yes,
is
sir.
that-
Now it's fine. Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah. I did a mistake actually. Yeah. Right? I'm not reading the whole story. Please tell me the answer. No, you guys would have read it. No, when magnetic field is applied on a stationary electron, what will happen to it? It will remain
Stationary.
stationary because F is equal to Q into V vector cross B vector. It remains stationary. A proton is projected with a uniform velocity along the axis of a current carrying solenoid. A proton is projected with uniform velocity V along the axis of a current carrying solenoid. Then
The proton will
What?
continue to move with velocity v along the axis.
yes, why is it so? Because the angle between the velocity and the magnetic field is 0. Okay. So it experiences 0 force. So it is a 0 force. So it is under what equilibrium? Can you tell me the name of that equilibrium? It is under when force is 0, but if the particle is still moving, what do you call that equilibrium as?
Translation.
It's called dynamic equilibrium. So
Okay.
okay, dynamic no motion. Or else, if it is at rest and the force is 0, you call it as static equilibrium. Okay. So a charged particle experiences a magnetic force in the presence of magnetic field. Which of the following statements is correct? Answer.
Option B, sir. The particle is moving and magnetic field is perpendicular to the velocity.
Correct. Fourth one, a charge Q moves with a velocity of 2 meters per second along the x-axis with uniform magnetic field of this much value, then the charge will experience a force. Tell me.
ZY plane.
Yes. Because I cross I will get cancelled. So it will exist only in the ZY plane. I hope everyone understood how I told I cross I cancels because here it is I cap. What about the 35th? Lens maker's formula. The focal length of equiconvex lens of glass is 3/2 in air, of refractive index 3/2 in air is 20 centimeters. The radius of curvature of each surface is 1/f is equal to mu minus 1 into 2/r. 1/f is 1/20 is equal to mu minus 1 is 1/2 into 2 divided by r. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. R will be 20. A substance is behaving as a convex lens in air and concave lens in water. Then the refractive index is
Greater than air but less than water.
correct. You remember I told you this question will come as a Viva question also. I think your practical is over, right?
No, sir.
Okay, if at all, no, it's not over. This might be a Viva question also. If you take a lens and immerse it into a medium whose refractive index is greater than that of the lens. Now repeat, Pandran, listen to this. You have a lens in hand. In the lens, you are putting it in a medium whose refractive index is greater than that of the lens. Then the nature of the lens will change. Concave will start behaving like convex and convex will behave like concave. What is the mathematical reason behind it? It is the lens maker's formula. Seriya?
Sir, yes, sir. But here, how are you telling?
Which one?
It
Same, no.
Yes, sir. How are you concluding it as greater than air but less than water?
That's what is supposed to happen, no? If it was greater, see, if it was greater than water again, then what would have happened is again it would have behaved like a convex lens only.
Sir, when you take a lens and immerse it in a medium of greater refractive index, right?
Yes, greater refractive index of that than the lens. Then it will behave like a convex lens. Then the nature of the lens will change. That is an important point. I
Yes,
hope you
sir.
made a note of it. Solupa. For convex lens, so in air it is behaving like convex lens. You are putting this into water. Okay. Inge water irukku. Now what is it behaving? It is behaving like concave lens. Then the refractive index of this glass is how much? What is it? How is the refractive index of this glass material going to be? It will be greater than air for sure.
Yes, sir.
இங்க greater than air இருந்ததுனால தான் it is convex, but it should be less than that of water இல்ல. நான் என்ன சொன்னேன், இது if the refractive index of this material is less than that of the surrounding medium, அப்ப nature will change. புரியுதா?
Okay. புரியுது. Yes, sir. I understood like it's greater than air. Till that I understood, but I didn't understand why it is less than water.
Less than water because the refractive index of that material should be less than the refractive index of surrounding medium. Other reason.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah. For a thin lens with radii of curvature R1 and R2, refractive index N and focal length F, the factor 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 is. Just rearrange and write it. What will you get? 1 by F is equal to N minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. About 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, this will come down 1 by F into N minus 1. Then answer. Simple. The last question, sorry. The last question is, a given convex lens of glass can behave as concave when it is held in a medium of mu. Actually, this is latex code. It is mu equal to. So convex lens the refractive index is 3 by 2. It can behave like a concave under what scenario? When the surrounding medium has a refractive index greater than 3 by 2. Greater than 3 by 2 now 1.5. 1 is eliminated, 3 by 2 is eliminated, 2 by 3 is eliminated, 7 by 4 will be the answer because 7 by 4 is 1.75. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to understand? That's it. So I think this is all right. So this full portion test 3, I don't think we can discuss it now. I'll arrange another day for it. Okay, let's have a detailed discussion on it.
Sir, there was one more question.
Soluma. Idliya, fifth one.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, read the question. Actually, read the question.
The radii of curvature of the surfaces of double convex lens
Okay.
are 20 centimeter and 40 centimeter respectively.
Okay.
And its focal length is 20 centimeter.
Convex.
What is the... Yes, sir. Double convex.
Convex, not positive. Okay.
What is the refractive index of the material of the lens?
Okay, then we can assume that the surrounding medium is air. So 1 by F is equal to mu minus 1 into 1 by 20 minus 1 by 40 with a negative sign. Can I take it like this? Did you understand why you put a minus sign there?
Yes, sir.
So mu minus 1 into 1 by 20 plus 1 by 40. 3 by 40. So 1 by F is 20. This goes 2 times. So mu minus 1 is equal to 2 by 3. Up mu will be equal to 1 plus 2 by 3. 5 by 3. Is there an option? 5
yes,
by
sir.
3.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
answer. Yeah, that's the answer. Okay. I think in a similar case here also you will have another question, right?
No, sir. There were only 4 questions for that.
For this one, okay, you had 5. Okay. See, next test onwards, actually, I forgot. There are 2 changes I'm going to make. One is the assertion reason based questions, and the second is
Your voice is breaking.
In section A, there are 2 assertion reason based questions, sir. Correct? So
Yes,
that
sir.
I'm going to add assertion reason I'm going to add, and the case study based questions you don't have options actually. As per the latest question paper, options are not there, and the options remove panidu. It is subject. But one thing that I'm not going to give you internal choice for the next 2 tests. last 3 tests இருக்கும்ல அதுக்கு மட்டும் I'll give you internal choice. Okay, internal choice வந்து I don't want to give so that you get exposed to all the questions. Okay, I'll see it. I'll think about it. Internal choice வந்து maybe I'll think about it. You might have it also. Seriya. I'll exactly frame it as per the new board pattern. So till now you're comfortable with these kind of questions, right? You got exposed to many questions from the assignment. You almost wrote 5 tests, right? 5 ஆச்சு இது 3. So this full portion இல்ல இது full portion test எத்தனாவது இது 7 இல்ல 7
full portion.
Fourth full portion. So full portion 4 எழுதுனீங்க part test 3 ஆ?
Yes sir.
அப்ப you have almost written 7 no?
Yes.
7 எழுதிருக்கீங்க. So last 3 tests it will be as per the board pattern. We can actually go with it. So now I hope you are comfortable with the questions, right? You are able to answer them. Right? Yeah. So that pattern will change. Okay. So for the next paper, I'll arrange another day to have a discussion. Okay. So till then we can wind up if there are no doubts. Sriram, you all don't stay in the room. You stay in the
Yes.
room. Don't leave. Others can leave if you have no doubt.
Sir?
Tell me.
Sir, if the question is like find the resonant frequency, which formula should we use, sir? Like,
see,
should
1
we
by
use
root L. Omega only. Use omega only because as per your textbook, resonant frequency, actually it should have actually been resonant angular frequency to be precise. But they actually mean it as resonant frequency. You can actually find 1 by root LC itself. But only thing is write the proper units, radians per second.
Sir, 1 by 2 pi into root L by C is resonant frequency.
அது ஆக்சுவலா ரெசனன்ட் அதுதான் சொல்லணும் ரெசனன்ட் ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி பட் உங்க டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்ல கூட they don't call it as resonant angular frequency. They call it as resonant frequency. அதனால I'm saying this thing. See, if you want to be on a safe side, right, calculate both. But you see, but as per this thing, you will get marks for either of the things. But if you want to be more conscious about it, find both the values and do.
Yes sir.
Sir, the unit will be for angular.
Omega வந்து radians per second. 1 by root LC வந்து radian per second. 1 by 2 pi root LC, that is FR வரும்போது that will be in terms of hertz.
Okay, sir.
Second inverse.
Sir, radian when will be used?
Radian is omega. Angular வந்தாலே angle see radian is for angle அவ்வளவுதான் simple. Omega is angular. Angle வரும்போது அவ்வளவுதான் radian per second. Revolution வராது. So you don't see. But for example, you have to look at the question. Where எங்கெல்லாம் வந்து you have this omega and fs in problems that are based on
induced EMF due to rotation.
Induced EMF எல்லாம் இருக்கும் பாத்தியா. So there they will give you frequency. So they will say the number of revolutions per second is this much, or number of revolutions per minute. If they use number na f.
Okay sir.
The number of revolutions per minute அப்படினு சொன்னா f. Suppose in the formula you want to use omega, then multiply that f with 2 pi. Radian per second. Provided வந்து frequency ல வந்து number of revolutions per minute கொடுத்திருக்காங்களா இல்ல second கொடுத்திருக்காங்களா, you should know. Only these two will be given mostly. Number of revolutions per hour is very less. They either give it as RPM or RPS.
Yes sir, clear.
Yeah.
Sir, if it's given RPM, should we change it to RPS?
Yes, RPS you need to change it. No? If you want this in radians per second, you have to change it. Only then it is going to be in the standard unit.
Yes.
அப்படி மாத்தலன்னா you should write it as radian per minute. But radian per minute is not a commonly used unit. Okay. Clear? Any other doubt?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, ma, you can wind up.
Sir, for that selective doing angular frequency, that question, sir.
Okay.
To make it more selective in terms of bandwidth, how can we write it, sir?
How is the quality factor proportional to bandwidth? Is it inversely or directly proportional?
If the difference in the frequency is lesser, the Q factor will increase, no, sir?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
You'll be able to select it.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Tell me.
sir, I have a doubt in one of the problem in definite integral.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me end this recording.
Okay.